thank you so much for hanging with us. And I am crewed up today. Stephen A. Smith, bless you.
Thank you.
Max Kellerman, our special guest. D'Angelo Hall is in the building. What's going on?
How y'all doing?
I'm doing good.
You usually give a pound and all that stuff, but I just sneeze, so we
Okay, yeah, we're cool. We're cool. Get the antibacterial. All right, guys, we got a lot to get into. The Steelers told Le'Veon Bell, tag, you're it. Pittsburgh informing Bell that he will be franchise tagged for the second consecutive year, and Le'Veon's made it clear he won't sign for less than he's worth. Stephen A., I'll start with you. This is your squad. What advice would you give him?
My advice to Le'Veon Bell would be a businessman. Don't be emotional. Understand what's going on here and handle your business. $14.54 million is on the table. I don't like the fact that you're franchised. Please don't get me wrong. I think he deserves his money. I think he deserves somewhere around 17 or 18 million a year, whatever he thinks that number is or the going rate is for the top running back in football. He can make a legitimate argument, D'Angelo, that he's worthy of that. I understand that. Not to mention the fact that he just turned 26 on February 18th. He's got years to go in his career. Usually when you're 30 and above, they start easing you out, if not pushing you out already, particularly when you're playing the running back position. So because of that reality, it elevates the level of importance for him to get it now, more so than ever before, because time's running out, because it's just 4 years away from them saying, you know what, you're finished, we're about to ease you out. So I don't knock him for getting his money. The flip side to it, however, is you talk about retiring at 26. That's nonsense. Stop the stupidness. You know better. There ain't no job out there that you're going to get that's going to pay you $14.54 million. Be the businessman that you are. They have the right. It's not like you're settling for the $14.54 as opposed to more numbers. They have the right, according to NFL rules, to franchise tag you, which means nobody else can give you the money without their okay. And because that's a maze that you've got to go through before you get your money, this is the situation that you have to deal with. Do what you can over the next 4 months until July to try to negotiate a long-term deal. You're on the record saying you're already closer than you were last year. And the worst case scenario is that you're going to be making $14.54 million, which you will not get back. You be a businessman, leave emotions out of the equation, and make the best business decision.
Sure.
For yourself.
But the issue is not the couple $1 million difference between what he's going to get if he's franchise tagged and what he thinks he's worth. Of course, Le'Veon Bell, if you're just going on value, is worth more dollars than any other running back. He is the best player who plays that position. He's number one. And that's pretty clear cut, by the way. He's number one. When he's on the field, gives you the best overall production. The issue is, with the tag, you're eating up the prime of a position that has a very short prime. So teams are not going to pay extravagant numbers to running backs who are going to be past 29, 30 years old. He just turned 26. So really what he knows is, and even though when you franchise tag a guy multiple times, the dollars go up every year, what he knows is they're going to tag me again next year. What would you do if you were Pittsburgh? I'd tag him again. Even if you had to tag him again and then you're overpaying him a little bit per year, but it's just for that 1 year, you're always going to get what you paid for. If he doesn't produce, then you're out of the contract. The problem is the way football players are guaranteed dollars, those dollars are prorated over years. The longer the future they think you have in front of you, the more guaranteed dollars they'll give you. Le'Veon Bell knows they're going to tag me again. I'm going to be 27. I'm not going to come up for a contract until I'm 28 years old. And at that point, they're going to tell me, well, you only have a year or two left in your prime, so we're not going to guarantee you a lot of money. If he stays healthy, he'll make 40, 50 million. No, you don't have to cry for him, but he will never get the money he's worth because the system is designed to suppress the long-term dollars, the guaranteed dollars of players, and it especially kills running backs.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. Everything you're saying is correct. Everything you're saying is correct. Le'Veon definitely has to look at this as a business. He has to say, hey, look, this is definitely not what I want, but I'm still making $14.54 million. The next year, he'll make whatever that increase is. The next year, if they franchise him, which I think they can only do one more time, right?
Yeah.
And so, kind of situation with Kirk Cousins. You don't want it have to be franchised because we all want security, longevity. We want to be able to know you can twist the ankle or break a bone or tear a knee, and I can still come back to my job, as opposed to on a franchise tag, it's like, you know, that next year, say he tears an ACL. That next year, his value's dropped tremendously.
Okay.
And so that's that's their excuse as a front office or organization or any other team.
Mm-hmm.
And so for him, I never went out there and played this, the fear of getting hurt. I don't think he plays that way. He, like you said, is the best running back in the National Football League. And I don't even say he's a running back because he does so much for that football team.
Right.
As a player, I want him. As a coach, I want him.
Well, let me interrupt you because, see, you're going through the car wash today at ESPN.
Okay,
you know what I'm saying? And I think you're going to do a good job, my brother. But it's a beautiful thing that you started off on First Take because, you see, here on this show, we going to get to the point.
Okay.
You got to make a decision, D'Angelo.
All right.
Are you going to retire or you going to take the money? I get your breakdown, and you know because you play, we did it. You understand what I'm saying? But, I don't know what my boys on NFL Live or Beyond might let you do. But on this show, you understand? I want a decision. D'Angelo, if you have to make a call, what's it going to be? You going to retire at age 26?
Oh, no, that's not
Knowing that you could come back, knowing that you can retire.
Yeah,
but are you going to retire
no.
or are you going to take the $14.54 million? Which one is it?
Everybody's taking that money.
Okay. I just want to make sure.
Taking that
I just want to make sure.
He's just saying that because it sounds good.
I'm taking 14 million.
It sounds good. Yeah,
no one in the history of the world ever turned that down.
No one believes in that he's retired.
Especially knowing they don't have anybody behind him who can do what he does.
Yeah.
He has to threaten.
I want to jump on something you said because I agree. Le'Veon Bell is more than a running back. And all the elite running backs nowadays got to be able to catch passes out of the backfield. And they line up Le'Veon all over. They line him up on the outside and the slot all over. Is he a good enough receiver to be like, okay, you want to get me, do me as a running back? I'm a receiver now. Remember when Jimmy Graham
did that and say he was a receiver? Yeah. I don't think Jimmy Graham won that, right?
Nope.
Yeah, he didn't win.
Is he good enough
not
to be a
win
receiver?
that. He's good enough to be a receiver. Can he go out there and be a receiver every single down? No. I don't think he gives you just that straight line speed. What makes him great at running back is he is that shifty. He's patient. He has tremendous ability to the knack for just making plays. And that's what he brings as a receiver as well.
Let me tell you a little story. One of my favorite stories that ever happened in the NFL because I do think that Emmitt Smith has, Le'Veon Bell has a chance. And I'm using Emmitt Smith. That's why the name came up. Y'all remember when the Dallas Cowboys won the Super Bowl years ago? And Jerry Jones, who paid Troy Aikman, decided that he want to play hardball with Emmitt Smith, right? Emmitt Smith doesn't play in the preseason. Emmitt Smith starts out the regular season. They lose game 1. Emmitt Smith starts out, he misses the game 2 of the season. They lose. They go 0-2. And Jimmy Johnson, the Super Bowl champion coach for the Dallas Cowboys, gets asked a question. And he literally goes like this, Max. He's just completely frustrated because he's trying to win a Super Bowl, and you got my man, Emmitt Smith, sitting out because he won his money. How could you get in the way of this? That's what you do if you Le'Veon Bell. But I'm not talking about retiring. I don't want to advocate this. I feel bad, but your recourse might be. I certainly don't wish this on my man Mike T, because this ain't him, Mike Tom. This ain't his fault. You understand what I'm saying? This is business above him. But what I'm saying is, if you're Le'Veon Bell, it seems to me like the only recourse you have is, dare I say, to be a little bit disruptive. Delay your return. You understand what I'm saying? For as much as you could possibly get away with it.
Here's the
Maybe
problem.
miss a game or two.
Here's the difference.
You understand? Make them feel a pinch.
No doubt.
Make them feel a pinch.
But here's the difference. Let's say Bill Belichick and Tom Brady retired, right? And you looked at Pittsburgh and you go, they're the odds-on favorite to win the Super Bowl. But boy, they're going to need Le'Veon Bell. Then I would think, you know what? You're right. Sometimes you bite the bullet if you're a franchise. You realize you're going to pay a guy past his prime. You're going to lose some money on that. But there's a huge high-leverage moment right now.
You're sounding like that's an aberration. That sounds like a very accurate depiction of what's going on in Pittsburgh as far as I'm concerned.
Except Pittsburgh has not instilled enough people, I don't think, with the confidence. Like when push comes to shove, you never actually pick them to win the Super Bowl. You go, boy, they're going to be a tough out.
Right
Maybe
now,
get to the AFC Championship game.
But I'm coming to your point. I'm saying to you, the reason we're talking about the Pittsburgh Steelers as a Super Bowl title contender is because of Le'Veon Bell. As big time as Antonio Brown is, he got his money. We know Ben is to contemplate retirement, vacillating back and forth, but he's a Hall of Fame quarterback. You know you got Juju and Martavis and those boys. It's about Le'Veon.
He's the most important offensive player.
D'Angelo, if you're Le'Veon, it's like, yo, I might need to miss a couple of games.
Nah, you
make them feel that pinch.
Absolutely have to do that. But for me, if I'm him, I'm not saying a word. I'm not on Twitter. I'm not on social media.
That's true.
Hey, look, I'm not going to do that. That's the number y'all got for me. This is the number I'm thinking I should get or I want. Cool. If that's where y'all at, that's where I'm at. I'll see y'all when I see y'all.
You know what's tough with football, though? Because they beat you guys in the head with this sacrifice for the team and and the players drink the Kool-Aid. They buy it, the great one. And then they turn around in the moment of truth and they go, well, sure, you're worth a couple $1 million more, but this is business, and we're not going to give it to you because we're going to pay someone else.
You know why it's not hard? Because Le'Veon has already talked enough. I love my brother. It was nice interviewing him during Super Bowl week. Nice watching him throughout the season. We've gone at it on Twitter a couple of times, but that's my brother. I got nothing but love for him. And he's big time and deserves his money. But he has talked enough. You're absolutely right. How much chirping do you need to do? We know you deserve the money. You know you deserve the money. You have spoken about it. We're speaking about it. There's nothing else to say. There's nothing else to say.
He knows he can't do anything. He's doing what he can. He's rattling the cage as much as he can. He knows nothing's going to happen.
To your earlier point, the injuries, etc., the man deserves security for sure. And they have the second best odds of winning the Super Bowl right now behind the Patriots, according to Westgate. Let's keep it moving, guys. So, meanwhile, Super Bowl MVP Nick Foles, his future also uncertain. The Eagles have received multiple trade calls for Foles, but are setting the price tag sky high, according to our Chris Mortensen. The Eagles' answer to those teams is that it's going to take more than the first and fourth round picks they got from the Minnesota Vikings for Sam Bradford prior to the start of the 2016 season. Max, I'll start with you.
Yep.
Should the Eagles look to trade him?
Nope. And they're in the catbird seat. I mean, they're exactly where you want to be. Is Nick Foles even worth a first rounder to me? No. I'd rather have a first round pick than Nick Foles as the quarterback of my team. However, for the Eagles, the way he just played, they won a Super Bowl because they had Nick Foles. If they didn't have Nick Foles, they don't win the Super Bowl. Carson Wentz put him in position to get home field, all those things. Carson Wentz, I thought, was going to win MVP. He's an amazing quarterback. And Nick Foles is a much more ordinary quarterback. But when they made things much simpler for Nick Foles, when it was just like make one read and then throw the ball, make a real read option situation, he excelled. And because they had him, they won the Super Bowl. When you look at this team, guys, I'm not saying he's worth this to every team, but to the Eagles, they're young, they're under contract, they get along. They play like they're coming off the Super Bowl win. It's such a high leverage moment for them that the insurance policy for them is so valuable, they don't need to shop the guy. They can come and listen to offers. First rounder, nope, first and fourth, we want more. Because they genuinely don't need to trade him right now.
And that's what they're doing.
Go ahead, D'Angelo.
But if they don't trade him, what's the value? Besides just being, he's going to play because obviously Carson Wenrz is hurt right now. He's probably going to come back, week 6 or 7? I'm trying to remember when he tore that ACL.
Right.
But it's going to take a little bit of time for him to come back.
In L.A.
They're saying he'll be back week 1, but we don't know. We saw the Teddy Bridgewater thing. Yeah.
But, I mean, to me, get rid of Foles. You don't need him. I mean, what is he there for? He's there to do what? He was a stopgap. Yes, he won the Super Bowl. Nobody thought he could do it. I don't think anybody outside of Philly thought he could do it. He did it. Congratulations. He played excellent football all throughout the playoffs. But if I'm Philly, I'm moving him so I can get value because that value is going to disappear.
But if I may, Stephen A.,
right or wrong,
99 times out of 100, I agree with that. It's like, come on, don't get caught up in the feelings.
I mean, because how many more years does he have left on his deal? Just one?
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
Are they going to franchise him and then try to trade him after the year?
It's not about getting value for him. The value you get for him is an insurance policy for Carson Wentz, who just had a catastrophic injury to his leg.
He had an ACL. That's not catastrophic.
Oh, he played 4 downs on the ACL and completed passes in a way that I can't remember another quarterback.
I mean, was his leg about to be amputated? Like, was it
catastrophic?
I mean, did he tear every single thing? ACL, PCL, MCL,
if an injury ends your season halfway through the season, that's a catastrophic.
All right, not to me.
Okay.
Not to me.
Right. But to humans.
But okay.
Most humans. Not
today. Not in today's society. ACL is not catastrophic. But
he wasn't available. They won the Super Bowl because of this guy. If he's not available again, they're in position to win another Super Bowl.
Stephen A., what do you think they should do?
D'Angelo's so kind. I appreciate you agreeing with me. I'm going to be more direct with Max. I think your thoughts about Nick Foles is utterly ridiculous. Of course you trade him. You trade him quick. Maybe not quick, fast, and in a hurry, but you damn sure trade him before the season begins. And let me explain to you why. Max Kellerman, talk about somebody. This is the same dude that accuses people being caught up in the sauce. Oh, you know what I'm saying? This is, prisoners of the moment, blah, blah, blah. Well, you know what? Nick Foles completed 72% of his passes, throwing for nearly 1,000 yards, 6 touchdowns, just 1 interception in the postseason. I mean, like, my Lord, stop the presses. Now, don't get me wrong. I do understand where the Eagles' position is. If we got a first and a fourth for Sam Bradford, why the hell can't we get more for Nick Foles? I understand that, but you talk about keeping him. If you're keeping him, as far as I'm concerned, you're minimizing his value, not elevating it, because if Carson Wenrz is on your squad, you don't need him. And by the time you don't need him, you'll be in a position down the line, as any agent would tell you, to actually ask for less, because the time, the opportunity that was available to you where you could have maximized his worth and his marketability, you passed on it. This is a dude, in the 3 games that he started for the Philadelphia Eagles, once Carson Wentz went down, completed 56.4% of his passes. When he a couple of years in St. Louis, don't get me started with the job that he did, even though that's Jeff Fisher. I understand he could contaminate anything. He could make Tom Brady look average. Jeff Fisher, that black cat running around anything he touches in the sport of football. We understand that. But the point is, Nick Foles, 1 great year in Philadelphia, 27 touchdowns, 2 interceptions under Chip Kelly. Great playoffs this year. By and large, throughout the rest of his career, if you talk to NFL players, which I do, they say he's relatively average. So when I look at it from that, they say he can make the throws. He's tall. He can see over the line of scrimmage, but he's not mobile. Even though he's got a good arm, sometimes he's accurate, sometimes he's not. I'm like, excuse me, we trying to treat this dude like he's the second coming to Drew Brees?
Wait, you guys are misunderstanding the problem here. Okay. I agree with both of you. If your point is his value will never be higher,
I'm saying,
of course his value is never going to be higher. Okay. His value is way higher now than it will ever be again. Mm-hmm. The point is not that. The point is not to cash him out at max value. I'm saying even if eventually you cash him out as nothing, if you have an incredibly valuable, if you had the Mona Lisa in your possession and the insurance premiums were $10 million a year, you still pay the premium. You may just lose the money. Nothing's going to happen, right? But if something does, you are compensated. You're covered. The point here is that the Eagles are not just a lucky team. They're a truly, fundamentally, to the core, excellent team. But they're well coached. They got a defense. They have
Stop right there. Stop right there. Stop right there.
Yep.
What did you just say?
They have a defense.
No. Before that,
they're well coached.
Right. So let me get this straight. Doug Peterson coached his tail off. Yep. We all concede that. Well, what happened to Nick Foles when he didn't have that coach?
Well, he does not have that coach yet, Jeff Fisher. He did well with Chip Kelly. All I'm trying to say, 1 year he did. 2017, he's 2 interceptions.
I'm sorry, didn't that go into the 1 year?
He only had 2 years, not with Jeff Fisher. He had 2 years, not with Jeff Fisher.
Excuse me.
27-2, and then won a Super Bowl.
Max Keller.
Those are his only 2 years without Jeff Fisher.
I'm right here, Max. I'm looking at his numbers. All I'm trying to say to you is that Nick Foles, by and large, has been an average to a slightly above average quarterback. Pump the brakes on it. Stop talking about him like he's Tom Brady.
Super Bowl MVP.
If you're a team that needs a quarterback, we got Cousins, Foles, Bridgewater, Bradford, Keenum available. Which guy would you want?
I'm looking at value. And I'm looking at my team. So depending on what team I am, I'm going to assess my roster and see how much I can really spend on this quarterback and still get better around
but
the rest of the team.
No one jumps out
but
at you.
if money didn't matter at all, and I just said to pick one,
looking at skills,
I'm going to probably pick Kirk Cousins.
Over Foles, over Keenum.
Absolutely.
I can live with
over
that.
Teddy Bridgewater.
I can live with that. I can live with that.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'd be a no-brainer. It'll be a no-brainer not to take, if money's not an object, and you're just telling me pick the best one.
You would know.
Absolutely. But for $30 million, I'm not taking Kirk Cousins. Even though, because I can't get the rest of my team better.
Hold it. Even though some would argue that he's done what he's done because he targets getting numbers. Kirk Cousins, 69%, 67%, 64% completion. The bottom line is we can't ignore that. We got to give credit where credit is due. Although I've had players inside that locker room tell me, Brother don't want to take chances.
Nah, he don't take a lot of chances.
But, you know what? What bothers me about this?
But before he got a chance to actually play, and when he played a little bit, his knock was what? He turned the ball over too much.
That's true.
He threw too many interceptions.
Right. That's true.
Can't win for losing.
So then he maybe
Here's my only question about
That's fair.
Here's my only question about Case Keenum.
And some of it is too, real quick, Max, is since he's taken over, it's been a job audition. He hasn't he hasn't had the opportunity to have a 5
I don't want to hear that, D'Angelo.
I'm just saying. As a player, that's what you think about.
Hold on, Molly and Max. No, D'Angelo.
As a player, that's what you think about.
I don't want to hear that from
that's what you think about.
Wait a minute. Not when you sign up for $24 million.
He doesn't want to make a mistake, but nobody wants to make a mistake because he feels like.
Excuse me, I comprehend what the man is saying.
I'm decreasing my value, so I'm not going to take that chance.
May I respond?
I want to see him playing with the max contract to where.
Hold on.
He can let it fly.
He might let it fly.
My man, let me get at you with what you're saying. I don't want to hear that. This man signs a franchise tag for $23 million one year, $24 million the next year. He had $49.5 million in guaranteed.
Year to year, he's still auditioning.
But we're saying he didn't take chances, yet he did finish both of those seasons with really, really good numbers.
Okay, but what I'm saying is you brought up the point that, you looking behind you,
I'm just saying, he's not taking those chances downfield.
Yeah, in other words, you want Stephen A. Smith on TV talking about how you have a 69% completion rate and all that stuff, so you get paid. That's what the year-to-year contract does. I think is the point.
Alex Smith
real quick, I want to get in on this real quick.
Yeah.
Case Keenum, everyone just kind of tosses him aside. He and Kirk Cousins played in the same league last year, in the same conference. Case Keenum was an MVP candidate. Kirk Cousins wasn't. Why is Kirk Cousins better than Case Keenum?
I haven't been around Case Keenum as far as preparation, so I don't know what he brings to the table. But I have kind of seen both of them play. I played against Case Keenum this past season, and he had a lot of great weapons around him, so he wasn't asked to do a whole lot. They simplified the offense. He came out the pocket, ran some boots, a lot of crosses, checkdowns. It wasn't a lot of just.
You don't think this is good?
I just think Kurt has a bigger upside.
All right, fair enough. We're out of time on that. Great insight by you.
But it is close.
Thank you so much.
It is close.
D'Angelo, you come back a little later. Remember on the street. Good stuff for you.
Good job.
Thank you.
Good
Much
job.
more on First Take today. Larry Nance has a career night and LeBron torches the Pistons, but find out why neither was the story in the land last night. Plus, find out what happened yesterday with Canelo Alvarez that could derail his rematch with Triple G in the ring this May. Max will break it down for you. And maybe the best defensive player in the NFL joins the show in our second hour. Super Bowl MVP Von Miller will tell us why he thinks Kirk Cousins is the answer for the Broncos at QB. First Take, just getting started.
Held high snap, drops back 3. Pressure there, he'll be set. The ball ripped away. It rolls into the end zone. It's recovered by Denver. Touchdown! Miller knocks it away. Malik Jackson tumbling after the bouncing ball. Denver has scored, and they've gone up 9-0.
Seen it.